What if the path to sobriety wasn't about willpower, but a controversial method that allows you to keep drinking? In just a few minutes, we'll dive into the fascinating story of Katie Herzog, a journalist who used an unexpected approach to overcome alcohol dependence. This is based on a compelling conversation from Chris Williamson's Modern Wisdom podcast. Katie's journey with alcohol began remarkably young, in middle school. She quickly fell in love with the intoxicating effect, not the taste, which set a pattern for her teenage and college years. By her mid-20s, she was a self-proclaimed barfly and party girl, living a life deeply intertwined with drinking. However, the fun gradually faded. Her drinking escalated, becoming increasingly solitary and secretive. This lifestyle led to severe consequences, including hospital visits, job losses, and even a memorable incident where she accidentally burned down a porch while intoxicated. Despite these alarming events, the gravity of her situation often seemed to be lost in the moment. Her first major wake-up call came at 24, after a serious breakup fueled by her behavior while drinking. This moment forced her to confront a stark choice. Was she a bad person, or was alcohol the root of her problems? Yet, the fear of quitting led her down a path of denial, seeking any other explanation for her actions. Katie describes this period as vacillating denial, where she would acknowledge alcohol as an issue, only to convince herself it was something else. She tried various methods to gain control, including Alcoholics Anonymous, individual and group therapy, and even extreme cleanses, but nothing ever stuck. She couldn't string together more than 30 sober days. Why was it so hard for her to break free, even with repeated rock bottoms? Katie realized that negative consequences, no matter how severe, never truly motivated her to quit. Her brain had been hijacked by alcohol. The willpower she tried to exert each morning would vanish by noon, leaving her powerless against the intense cravings. This highlights a critical aspect of addiction. It's not simply a lack of love for family or a preference for alcohol, but a loss of control. Many people, like Chris Williamson, observe that society often normalizes heavy drinking, especially in youth, treating crazy stories as rites of passage. This cultural acceptance can make it even harder for individuals with problem drinking to recognize and address their issues, as their behavior is often seen as just being fun. Katie also bristled at the AA narrative, finding it hard to believe that life without alcohol could be fulfilling. For her, alcohol was deeply woven into her identity, social life, and sense of community. The thought of living without it felt like living without food, an unimaginable prospect. To truly understand her struggle, we need to look at how alcohol affects different brains. Katie learned there are primarily two types of problem drinkers. She was a reward drinker, experiencing a euphoric, energized rush from alcohol, almost like a stimulant. This rush of endorphins, dopamine, and serotonin fueled her party girl persona. In contrast, relief drinkers find alcohol sedating and calming, often using it to manage anxiety. Some individuals experience elements of both. This distinction is crucial because alcohol's effects vary greatly from person to person, influencing their relationship with the substance. Risk factors for alcohol use disorder include genetics, starting to drink at a young age, and repeated exposure. Katie had all three, making her particularly susceptible. The alcohol deprivation effects also explains why cravings can return stronger after periods of abstinence, making traditional white-knuckling approaches incredibly difficult. So, if traditional methods failed, what was this controversial cures that changed everything for Katie? The solution Katie discovered is called the Sinclair method, or TSM. It involves taking a medication called Naltrexone, an opioid blocker that has been FDA approved for alcohol use disorder since 1994. Despite its long history, it remains largely unknown. Naltrexone works by blocking the opioid receptors in your brain, preventing alcohol from delivering that euphoric rush. The Sinclair method specifically instructs you to take the pill 1 hour before you plan to drink, then drink as normal. This process, known as pharmacological extinction, gradually unlinks the pleasure from alcohol. Katie stumbled upon TSM during the COVID-19 pandemic, a period when her secret drinking escalated dramatically. She was drinking every time her wife left the house for 2 years, hiding it from everyone. Desperate for a solution that didn't involve rehab or AA, she committed to TSM. For 7 months, Katie diligently followed the method, always taking her pill an hour before drinking. She also started incorporating mindful changes, like delaying her first drink and increasing alcohol-free days. The goal was to retrain her brain to seek pleasure elsewhere, as alcohol no longer provided the desired high. After 7 months, she decided to try an alcohol-free month. To her astonishment, it was easy, something that had never happened before. She simply never started drinking again. 3 years later, she remained sober, freed from the constant mental obsession that had consumed her for decades. Katie kept her journey a secret from her wife for over 1.5 years, wanting to ensure her sobriety was solid before revealing it. Her wife was surprised but ultimately proud that Katie had tackled such a profound problem on her own. Given its effectiveness, why isn't the Sinclair method more widely known or prescribed by doctors? Several factors contribute to its obscurity. Historically, addiction medicine has been a minimal part of medical education in the US. Many doctors simply aren't aware of naltrexone, let alone the Sinclair method. The method's requirement to drink to cure sounds counterintuitive and can be a tough sell for both doctors and families. There are also legal liability concerns for physicians who might prescribe a drug that allows a patient to continue drinking. Furthermore, naltrexone is a cheap generic drug, meaning there's no financial incentive for pharmaceutical companies to market it. The term opioid blocker itself can also deter doctors, as it's associated with a different crisis, despite naltrexone not being an opioid. This situation highlights how the world of alcohol use disorder has been over-moralized and under-medicalized. While many acknowledge alcoholism as a disease, it's rarely treated with medication, unlike other medical conditions. It's important to note that TSM doesn't work for everyone. It's most effective for reward drinkers who get an energized high from alcohol, often linked to a specific gene variant. For relief drinkers who find alcohol sedating, naltrexone has little to no effect. Beyond individual treatment, how is society's relationship with alcohol changing? There's a noticeable cultural shift, particularly among Gen Z, who are drinking less, socializing less in person, and embracing movements like sober maxing or elective sobriety. This contrasts sharply with previous generations, where heavy drinking was often seen as a rite of passage. Chris Williamson, who also chose elective sobriety, noted how his decision triggered others. Sobriety can throw a spotlight on others' drinking habits, leading to discomfort or even social exclusion. Yet for many, like Chris and Katie, sobriety became a life hack, freeing up mental space and energy for productivity and personal growth. The World Health Organization now states there is no safe level of alcohol consumption, further fueling this cultural shift. The rise of screens, social anxiety, and alternative substances also contribute to fewer people engaging in traditional drinking culture. However, this shift also raises concerns about decreased in-person socialization and the loss of certain rites of passage that, for some, facilitated learning and personal development. The pervasive surveillance culture also means youthful mistakes are now permanently immortalized online, adding another layer of caution. So, what is Katie Herzog hoping to achieve by sharing her story and the Sinclair method? Katie's goal is multifaceted: to provide a guide for those interested in the Sinclair method, to raise awareness among medical professionals, and most importantly, to broaden the conversation around alcohol use disorder beyond the abstinence-only narrative. She believes that the AA or nothing approach keeps many people drinking longer, as the idea of quitting forever feels insurmountable. By offering an option that allows individuals to gradually extinguish their desire for alcohol, she hopes to save others from the heartache she experienced. Katie's journey from a secret drinker to an advocate for a controversial treatment is a testament to the diverse paths to recovery. Her story challenges conventional wisdom and offers hope to those who feel trapped by alcohol. Is Katie's story resonated with you, or if you're curious to learn more about the Sinclair method and the nuances of alcohol dependence, we highly recommend watching the full interview. You can find the complete conversation with Katie Herzog on Chris Williamson's channel. The link to the full video is in the description below. Dive deeper into this crucial discussion and explore the changing landscape of sobriety.
Enjoying quick summaries like this and saving time? There's more coming, so hit that subscribe button.